I don't know what to do anymore, doctor. I really don't. I can't stand my daughter-in-law, but forget about me. She treats my son terribly. She's pulling him away from us. The boy I raised with love for so many years now acts like a stranger to his own parents, as if we never existed. Tell me, where did I go wrong? The words shook out of an aging mother like loose stones on a cliff. Across from her, the therapist listened. The tasteful room, the soft lamp, the quiet pen scratching, all of it felt too calm for the storm in her chest. From the outside, their family looked ordinary. The father had worked his whole life and retired with dignity. Their only son, Michael, had been the pride of their small home. Report cards pinned on the fridge, a graduation photo on the mantel, a pair of shoes by the door that always seemed too big and then somehow too small. His mother had kept every birthday card, every school program, every proof that love had substance. When Michael introduced the woman he loved, his mother cooked for days. She ironed tablecloths, polished the old silver, told friends, "I finally have a daughter." At the wedding, she smiled until her cheeks ached. She pressed the bracelet into the bride's hand and whispered, "Welcome to our family." But sweetness can be a mask. It began with small complaints. Leaving a family dinner, the new bride leaned toward Michael and murmured, "Do you notice how much your mother interferes?" Michael frowned. "She just cooked for us." "No," the bride insisted, voice like sugar melting into vinegar. "You didn't catch the looks. She wants to run everything. Poison doesn't announce itself. It drips." Soon she widened the circle. "Your dad talks down to you. They don't see me as family. We need boundaries." She said the word like a charm, a modern spell to seal their door. In session, the mother's hands twisted together. "I tried to be careful. I stopped giving advice unless asked. I sent short messages. 'How are you? We love you.' I waited. I thought it would pass." She swallowed, but it didn't. Every week, my son moved one step farther away. The therapist asked, "When did you first feel alarm?" The mother stared at the carpet. "The first time she called me Mrs. after the wedding. She knew my name." That night, alone at her own kitchen table, she whispered a bargain to the ceiling. "Please let this be a misunderstanding. Let love be enough." Distance arrived like winter, slow, inevitable, then suddenly everywhere. Michael silenced his phone. He texted, "Busy, Mom. Work is intense." Visit shrank from hours to minutes, then to maybe next month. The new wife became a shadow at every conversation, never loud, always near. When the mother offered to help in their kitchen, the bride smiled without warmth. "We don't need advice." When the father told a harmless story about Michael as a child, she sighed and touched her husband's arm. "See, they never let go." Michael's face tightened each time she whispered. The mother stopped bringing dessert. She stopped telling stories. One evening, the mother cooked Michael's favorite, roast chicken with herbs, the dish he asked for after every big exam. She set 2 plates, then 3, then decided to leave the extra. She called, voice bright with practice. "Just you and Dad tonight, no fuss." A pause. In the background, the bride's voice, soft but sharp. "Why feed the pattern?" Michael exhaled. "We can't make it, Mom. Another time never came." The mother stared at the untouched meal until the candles collapsed into waxy pools. In bed, she faced the wall. The father whispered, "He'll come back around." But even he did not sound convinced. The bride's campaign gathered detail. She sprinkled words like seeds: manipulation, control, boundaries. Michael repeated them until they replaced memories. When his mother called to apologize for whatever she could not name, he said, "You need to respect our space." She hung up and cried in the laundry room, the hum of the dryer hiding her breath. Then came the breaking point. In the brittle dark of a winter evening, the mother collapsed. A rush of sirens, a hospital corridor, the antiseptic smell of fear. The father's hands shook as he dialed his son. "Michael, your mother's in the hospital. Please come." Silence. Then a voice so flat it felt foreign. "I can't right now, Dad. I'm busy." Behind him, barely audible, the bride's whisper, "They're exaggerating. Don't reward it." The phone slid from the father's palm like a final, small surrender. In a stark room, machines beeped with clinical indifference. The mother told the nurse, "He'll come. He loves me. He's always loved me." She turned toward every opening door, every pair of footsteps. She rehearsed what she would say. "It's okay. I understand. I'm just glad you're here." Hour after hour, the door opened for everyone but him. Weeks passed. The father kept the house running with the brittle gentleness reserved for things already cracked. He watched his wife fold and refold the same dish towel. He watched her glance at the phone when it did not ring. Finally, one gray afternoon, he took the old car keys and said, "I'm going." He rehearsed in the driver's seat. "I'm not here to fight. I'm here because I'm your father. We just want to see you." He practiced a smile in the rearview mirror and looked older than he remembered. At Michael's door, he knocked softly, then harder. The door opened a careful inch, then wider. She stood there, the daughter-in-law, with a smile that never reached her eyes. "What are you doing here?" The question was perfectly polite and perfectly cruel. "I just want to see my son," the father said. "I miss him." His voice surprised him. Thin, like thread pulled too tight. She crossed her arms. "He has his own family now. He doesn't need you. Please leave." From inside, Michael called, "Who is it?" Her mouth curved. "Nobody. Wrong door." She stepped forward, just enough to make him step back, and shut it. The sound of the latch was small. The father felt it like a strike. He stood on the mat until he realized he had been dismissed. On the walk back to the car, his legs trembled. He sat, hands on the wheel, and could not turn the key. Traffic murmured far away. A jogger passed. The world did not register a father braking. He drove home by the longest streets. At a red light, he thought of the day he taught Michael to ride a bike, running, breathless, shouting, "I've got you, I've got you." He wondered when he had let go. He stopped at a diner with fluorescent lights and coffee that tasted like metal. He did not drink it. A waitress asked, "You okay, sir?" He nodded because he could not speak. When he finally returned, his wife was on the couch in the quiet living room. She started to stand, but he shook his head and sat beside her. For a long time they said nothing. Then he told her everything, every word, every expression, the door closing. She took his hand the way a wife does when she knows there is nothing to fix, only something to survive. Days later, they went back to the therapist together. The mother spoke last, voice steady from telling the story so many times it had worn smooth. "My greatest pain isn't only that my daughter-in-law turned my son against us," she said. "My greatest pain is that my son betrayed his own heart." Because a child who abandons his parents, one day abandons himself. And now I ask you, who was truly guilty here? The narcissistic daughter-in-law who dripped poison into a husband's ear? Or the son who let her words grow louder than blood, louder than memory? If you were in this mother's place, what would you have done? Tell me in the comments. And maybe the next story I share here will be yours.